Hey guys, what's going on? Paul here. Welcome back to another Cardano video. And today I'm sitting down with Joris from the Chains of War team who are building a game on Cardano. We talk about different games and building on blockchain and how they can interact with the blockchain. So I'm looking forward to getting into this. They were recently listed on Epic Games, which is a really good step for them too. But Joris, welcome. Thanks very much for taking the time. And do you want to kick it off, giving an introduction to yourself, and then we'll get into the game and everything you guys are building.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for having us. I'm Joris Gielen. I'm the co-founder of Chains of War and Blue Fork, the development company of the game. And we've been at it now for over 2-3 years, and we're busy developing a free-to-play single-player and multiplayer game, which will be using Cardano integrations. So that's why we're here today.
Nice. So you're building a good while now at this point. How did it come about? How did you get into this? Was the team doing anything in gaming before, or where did this come from?
Well, it started with I think many years ago that we were all hooked on franchises such as Lord of the Rings and World of Warcraft, and that's the inspiration also for the game. I think many people will see the references to it, and onwards we developed each a different career path. One was more in management, one was more in marketing or video and history, and somehow that got together with that we are able to make a great world, so a strong world building combined with a good management, and that fused together to the current team.
Okay, and you mentioned that you have a company behind that's building the game. Is this the main focus of that company, or does the company work on other things as well?
Yeah. Actually, the company we founded based on the game that we developed, and that was necessary because it's one thing to sell an NFT, but it's another thing to have a legal entity and a legal structure to actually process and develop a game and publish it on what we do today on the Epic Game Store, for example. So we needed to create a company, and this allows us to hire employees, such as the last employee we hired is Michiel. Michiel was an employee from Activision Blizzard, so that's a great addition to our team. And so the four of us are the owners of the company.
Okay, yeah, that's good to hear. It's important to have the foundations right. You don't want, if you're aiming to grow big long term, you don't want anything that can come back on the project. So you mentioned there about Lord of the Rings and different things that were inspirations for the game. Do you want to give a kind of an introduction to the game and how it works?
Yeah. Well, the game is set in a fantasy RPG. And it's a world. The world is called Terra, which is a planet which is a little bit unhospitable. And on this planet, you have multiple factions. So one faction is the Urdnaki, which people from World of Warcraft might know from a orc faction. And then we have the elves, the Elve, and we have the Duxa, which is the empire role who control the whole planet and dominate the other species as well. And then we have the Hadaki, which are also humans, but have more technical advancements, but they are miners, so they are a little bit oppressed. And all these factions, they compete for control. So set in this stage, we are developing a map multiplayer and single player map where we implement the gaming genre is extraction looter. And an extraction looter is the hottest new gaming trend. You had Battle Royale, for example, with Fortnite and Modern Warfare. And we see now the next level on that is extraction looter, and it works perfectly with blockchain because the extraction looter genre is based around that you drop in hot, you only have one life, which makes it exciting, and the mission is to extract loot, and that loot connects well with an NFT, for example. And there are a lot of games that are entering that genre. So there's competition. Example is Escape from Tarkov, which has millions of players at the moment. But our unique twist is that we are the first to combine fantasy and RPG on this level together with the genre. So we not only have the hottest new gaming genre, but we also combine it with the most popular setting, which is fantasy RPG. So this together is the basis of our game. It's we are now working towards the first alpha version, and we're pretty close. Actually, the first alpha version will be available later this year, and that's the foundation of our game.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good overview of what it all is. I was just showing some of the screenshots there for people who mightn't have seen some of it before, and we'll also play a trailer, your latest trailer of the game. And is the latest trailer, we'll play that, I will have either played that at the start or I'll overlay it somewhere here. But is that actual game footage or is that just rendered for the trailer?
No, that's actually all in-game footage. We are using we have a license for the Unreal Engine 5, and it's more than capable to produce amazing graphics, and if you optimize it correctly. And we're pretty happy with the graphics result. So in the trailer you can see numerous abilities. So each player has several abilities depending on the class. So we have a whole class system, and you can start missions or quests on different levels. So it's a combination of what we have at the moment and also what they can expect for the alpha version.
Okay, nice. So is it internal testing at the minute, or is there a version out for people to try?
Yeah, no, it's internal testing and with a external testing agency. So okay. There's still some work to do, as there's always work to do, and but it's we're pretty confident that we have an excellent alpha this year.
Okay, yeah, that was the next question, was the timelines for when people might be able to expect getting access to it. It is planned for this year, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and where does blockchain fit into it? So we've talked about, or you mentioned NFTs briefly earlier on, I think, but where does blockchain come into gaming? I think that has been the problem at times for games, and where you can interact with blockchain, or do people need to know about blockchain to actually play the game?
Yeah, well, we have taken the stance, unlike many games, that we are a light version of the blockchain. And what I mean by that is that it's absolutely not necessary to use the blockchain. So it's very beginner friendly for people that are new to crypto. And if they enjoy the game and don't want to do anything with blockchain, that's a fine. They can still enjoy the game. And people that are enthusiastic about the blockchain, they will love the features that we have. And everything that's in between, people that might be interested in blockchain, we will be a good partner to be the first step to learn. And the reason why I'm saying that is because for example, in the traditional gaming sense of Fortnite or Call of Duty, here you have a store with items that you can purchase, different skins, weapons, stuff like that. And up until now, it's common knowledge that once you buy it, that's to spend money, and that's fine, but that's where it stops. And the great thing about blockchain is that it really makes you an owner of the stuff that you buy, the asset that you buy. So not only is that weapon that you find by chance or that you purchase, not only is it yours, but it's also yours by trading. So you can trade it, you can show it, you can share it, you can send it to somebody else without any issues. That's, I think, the first biggest win if you're talking about why would you integrate blockchain into a game. So it's the decentralization of the items that you sell, purchase, but also that you find in the game. Then we look at what other integrations are necessary or important. And blockchain also offers improved security if you're talking about scamming, but also about hacking. So that's a great win. A third is the player profiles. Normally, if you sign up into a game, you'll be prompted with compliance, and what it does is shares your personal information to any other advertising platform that it's connected to, which is fine for many people, but it's not necessary. In blockchain, you can make your profile anonymous while still enjoying the same features that any other player has. So I think that's the three core features that are necessary. Then we have a fourth column, which is not so much towards the player, but it's more aimed towards game development per se. So at the moment, you have a very big gap between AAA studios that produce Call of Duty, and then you have a lot down the road, you have an indie studio. And it has to do with funding. So a AAA studio has maybe 200 to 500 million budget for a AAA product, and it gets harder and harder to get a good ROI on that. And indie studios, they are lacking behind. And the great thing about blockchain is that now it's very easy, relatively easy, to get people, investors interested in a product and have them back you, as we did, which enables you to develop on a higher level. And the great thing is that it's not only like a Kickstarter, because you already have that in the Kickstarter form, but now you have people that also benefit from their investment. I think that's the four main reasons that blockchain is great for gaming.
Yeah, that's a great breakdown. I think the idea that people can help fund the project early, but they get the NFT that can actually be used in the game. So it's not like some Kickstarter funds or some other funding where you fund, you get nothing in return, and then if the project doesn't make it, then you're left with nothing. And I like that you're concentrating on the gamers and not concentrating on it has to be blockchain, because I think that's where a lot of games have failed, and where gamers, like you say, they can play games from AAA studios and the quality of them is massive. So we need to be able to have something that they want to play, that they're happy to play, that they enjoy playing. And if they do, maybe they then start to learn about blockchain after. But it's very hard to bring them people in to on the basis of, yes, NFTs are great. You can mint all your in-game character, your whatever weapons or anything you get, and you can sell them on. That's nice to have. But a lot of people play games, well, outside of crypto, they play games because they enjoy playing the games. So you need to have something that they come in and enjoy, and it can be a huge onboarding ramp for people into crypto. If you have something they enjoy playing, then they realize, oh, well, I can actually get whatever I earn in the game. I can use that. I can sell on the weapons or sell on the characters or things like that. So it's good to hear that you're going that route.
It's a numbers game, actually. It's on the one hand, games that focus really on blockchain and as a must, that helps us develop the technology, which is great. Mm-hmm. But if you look at the numbers, then you see that only 10 to 15% of the younger people actually want at the moment cryptocurrency in their game because they're scared that it's negative or they don't want anything to do with it, or it's a scam stuff. It's difficult in this way. So if you look at the numbers, then it's clear that you need to focus on the large target group, which is gamers. And then I'm sure if we provide the benefits of crypto, and it gets easier. So you need to have a superior project before you actually do something like this.
Yeah, I think that's a really good approach. And is it going to be just on Cardano, or say I come in, I play the game, I then learn about the NFT side after that? If I want to go and mint the NFTs, is that only Cardano, or can I pick the chain that I want to mint them on?
Well, the minting will probably be on Cardano only, but we are looking at the moment to make it multi-chain. So for us, it's important that whether if you're a crypto newbie, then you don't care if it's Cardano or it's Ethereum or Solana. You just want to have easy access to the best wallet, to the best platform. So we are based on Cardano. That's our main focus. But we are building everything possible to make it accessible to whether you're on MetaMask or Ethereum, Solana. Yeah, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I think that's important. New people coming in, like you said, they won't care what chain they're on, so maybe they default to Cardano when they're getting started. But if you've users from other chains who play the game, they want to just use whatever wallet they have for, whether it's Solana, maybe not Ethereum with the fees, but some of the layer 2s and some of the other chains that are there, then you want them all.
Great, actually. Yeah.
Sorry?
No, the layer 2s are great, but the layer 1 is terrible. But you think, you have to think about the future, and it might be in the future that it doesn't matter which blockchain it is, because it matters what the technology offers. And most of the time, a user doesn't care what technology is behind it. They just want to have the most easy interface and the best benefits possible.
So. Yeah, and I think there's different use cases. For some use cases, you want to have certain aspects from your blockchain. For gaming, they will have different what they want from it. I suppose cheaper fees, faster transactions. That's really things that people who are minting their NFTs or moving around, that's what they will primarily want. But
actually, we're in talks with Midnight, for example, which offers a great addition to what we already have, is that a transaction can also be hidden, which is great for personal information, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting too, and that could be a good development. In terms of Epic Games, where did that come from? Was that always the plan to get listed there? Is that to try and get exposure for the game, or why go that route?
It's a combination of both. Actually, I think 3 years ago, we were a little bit worried about distribution, because Steam took the approach to ban crypto in their platform, and Steam is the largest platform for PC games. But luckily, they've opened a little bit up lately, but they're not there yet. But luckily, Epic Games is investing heavily into the platform, and for us, it's the biggest. It's the second biggest platform for PC gamers, so it's a must to distribute your product there. And to have an agreement with them is for us is a great win, and it also helps us with the process of the verification and the distribution over different countries. So yeah, it's not only marketing, but they also help in the actual distribution and the proper way to funnel it. Yeah.
Okay, I suppose there's a trust factor there as well for people outside of crypto, gamers that want to come in and download the game, that if it is on Epic Games, they have that trust there that it is legitimate, that it isn't going to be there isn't going to be anything malicious with the game. So that's a good aspect.
They have their own product reviewers, so your product needs to be up to standards, which is a reassurance for the customer. And it's almost 300 million people on the platform, so it's amazing for us.
Yeah, it's great. So looking forward, what's next for the team then? I know you said this year you're hoping to have the alpha out for people to use, but is that the next goal, or what's what's upcoming in the next few months?
Well, the alpha will be built upon, so that's a continuous development. I think for the short future this year, we are working on a new website, new platform to give more information specifically about the game. We are working on a marketing campaign. We also have a catalyst proposal running soon. And as far as the development, we're constantly building upon our team. So it's important to have the correct staff on the correct positions. And that's the number one issue for us. Yeah.
And just, you mentioned Catalyst there. So voting, it's still another month away, I think. I can't think of the date off the top of my head. But do you want to give the overview of what that proposal is? Is that for specific parts of the game, or what is it?
Yeah, voting ends, I think, 26 or starts 26. I can check it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, the proposal for the Catalyst Fund is something that we cherish, and the reason that we do this is because Cardano and gaming is lacking, and not a bit, but by a big margin. So blockchain gaming is trending. It's the number one by quite a margin dApp usage across Ethereum, Solana, actually Base, any top chain except for Cardano. And we have had many conversations with other game studios and other chains, and the issue is, on the one hand, it's the technical side, that it's a little bit different than what they're used to, but luckily we're working to fix that. The other side is the PR. So what we did is we looked at how did gaming become such a big factor. If you look at unique active wallets, for example, on Ethereum or Solana, and what you see is that there's one big hit, and then the rest follows. And with one big hit, I mean, think of Heroes of Mavia, for example. They did an amazing job on Base, and now everybody knows Base because gaming is trending there. And now a lot of studios are building on Base. But it wouldn't have happened if Heroes of Mafia did such a great job. And the same is for Solana, is the Star Atlas, for example. And with Ethereum, you had Gods Unchained with Immutable. So there needs to be a catalyst on the chain that attracts more games or game developers. And we believe we can be that team, and we believe we can be that company that really open up that market for Cardano. And the proposal that we have is mainly focused around advertisement, where we push the game and the integration with Cardano towards all the large influencers, but also large advertising platforms such as CoinMarketCap, and to spread the message that the game is running amazing, and that Cardano is an excellent partner for gaming.
Okay, great. I will leave a link to that one down below for anyone who wants to read more into it. And as well, we talked about the funding side of things by using blockchain. There is NFTs for the game. Where do they fit the NFTs that are already in the market, or will there be new NFTs coming out?
Well, we have the original, the Genesis heroes, which are characters with different traits and different objects, like armor or weapons. And this is an NFT, for example, that gives you access to a certain character with this and that armor. And then we have the mount collection, which gives you access to a mount to use in game, which is all limited editions. And if you look at NFTs within the game that you will play, then it's think of it like if you find a legendary item by luck, then you have the option to mint it, and that makes it yours. And it doesn't mean that we will mint 500,000 of the same weapons that are common, or every bullet or everything that you see, but just make it worthwhile for the the more uncommon items. That's the reason that people can use an NFT.
Okay, and just on that, so in the game that people go in and play, there will be different items just lying around, or do they have to do certain tasks to win items in the game?
Now you can, what you do is you drop in the game. I'll describe what happens. You drop in the game and you have no idea where you are. And in normal games, you have maybe a navigator telling you where you are or maybe where you start. But with Extraction Looter, the excitement comes also from you have no idea where you are, what to expect, and where the danger is. You only know you have 15 minutes or 20 minutes to get out alive. But you need to find extraction zones. These extraction zones will be displayed on the top of your screen vaguely, for example, south of the two watcher towers, for example. And what you do is you pick up several quests, for example, that give you extra rewards in our token. You have loot boxes, you have bosses to slay around the map. And if you survive that, then you can extract, and the items that you extract with can contain rare and valuable NFTs. Yeah. The flip side is you can also lose your stuff if you die. So that makes it exciting.
Okay, so stuff that I go into the game with, I can lose, or is it just the stuff I pick up in the game?
Both.
Okay. How does that work on an NFT side? If the NFTs are sitting in my wallet, does that NFT just become void then, or how does that type of thing work?
Well, it can be picked up by another player. If you are playing multiplayer, it can be picked up, and otherwise it will be in a storage. It will not be for all NFTs. Some NFTs are you can call it soul bound, so you cannot lose them. But the more common NFTs, you can lose that. Yeah.
Okay, and then do they have to be transferred by the player out then after that? Because obviously if they sit in the user's wallet, then that person needs to initiate the transfer if that same NFT can go to someone else.
No, it only happens when items are still not minted.
Okay. So
you don't have to mint everything that you see. You have the option to mint something. But as long as that hasn't happened, you can lose everything. Yeah.
So that's another incentive, I suppose, for people to mint, is if they're minted and they're in their wallet, then they can't actually lose them when they die.
Yeah.
But anything else we haven't covered today on the project? Hopefully it's been a good intro to the project for people, where it is now, what's to come, and how blockchain can interact with games. But any aspects maybe we didn't touch on that we should have?
No, I think for us the main pillar is the alpha that we're working on. I think, what's important for us that we have a nice community in our Discord and on our X page, and we love how it happens at the moment, that the community just follows us and supports us, and that gives us the drive to develop further. So we're happy in the place that we are at the moment, and we're confident about our game.
Yeah, that's great. I will leave links then to, I think you mentioned Discord and X or Twitter down. I'll leave them links down below, and maybe to the site, which I showed earlier in this, for people who want to dive a bit deeper or keep a close eye on the project. As you get towards the public release of the game, we'll catch up as well to see where things are at, and hopefully I'll be able to get in and have a play around with it too, and maybe record that when I do. But yours, thanks very much for your time. I appreciate it. Appreciate the insights into blockchain and gaming and where you guys are going. Anyone watching, please do share it out. Let people know what Chains of War are building and how blockchain and gaming can go together. Subscribe if you're new. Comment any questions below. I can try and forward them to the team, or even join their socials like Discord. And that's probably the best place to ask your questions directly. And we'll talk to you soon. Joris, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Paul. Have a good day.